This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
You know, when I go to the mailbox, I usually fret because I usually think it's a bill or something like that. But the other day, I got something from Luminis Health and Arundel Medical Center telling me that Denims and Diamonds is back on April 26th. So I'm excited about that. And we're here with the foundation to talk with the movers and the shakers of this event and find out why everybody can't miss it. So I want to thank you guys for inviting me here. But joining me today is Claudia Boldyga and Elizabeth Gross. And Claudia, you are the one that came up with this idea and the founding chair along with your husband, Randy, right?
So ultimately, yes. So nice to see you again, John. So ultimately, many years ago, we were all going to Baltimore for this event, for a gala, so to speak. And it was a great event for Arundel Medical Center. And at one point, we thought, how wonderful would it be to actually have it local. And so the hospital also thought the same thing, bringing it to the community that Anne Arundel Medical Center loves, and support the community, support some of the vendors, support some of the people that are in the hospital, and it would be better for it to be a local area that we would have this event.
That makes sense that a lot of people in Baltimore probably didn't go down to the Hilton to
and
the hospital down in Annapolis.
Right. And at the time, I think what it was, too, is that, their events were usually like 750, 800 people. And I think the biggest issue is that there was not a venue that we could secure, that the hospital could secure, to have that event. And so then they came to us with this idea about this great area. And of course, it was quite interesting when they said, we're going to do this in a parking lot and it's going to be great. And I can still remember Randy and I like, wait, what? Okay. And then suddenly all the local vendors were brought in and they did an incredible job. And that parking lot is turned into, like, you wouldn't even recognize it. And so we were watching the tent go up and watching all the electric. It's like building a hotel, technically, in a parking lot.
It is an oasis. When you come to this party, you walk in and you have no idea where you are.
Correct.
It's just an absolutely wonderful party. And this started back in 2015.
Yes, it did. It started in 2015, and originally it was raising funds for the Klatnoff Pavilion, and then it shifted, actually, our funds to mental health in 2015, 16. I think it was 16 that it changed to mental health. And it really was amazing just to see how many people showed up, because you would think to yourself, in a parking lot, we thought maybe we would get like 700. It was a huge amount for that particular area. And it was just incredible just to see how it played out in 2015, and then seeing how it's grown over the past 6 years.
Right. It was fabulous. And then obviously, because of that C word, it came to a grinding halt in 2020.
Yeah, that was...
as did everything in the world. So,
John, that was a horrible, tough decision. But I know that the hospital did the right thing, especially with the idea that COVID had canceled many events, many plans around the Annapolis area. And so they had a very hard decision to make with regards to possibly, canceling it. And then, of course, over the years, they had to be careful and be considerate of everybody, and the health was obviously the biggest important thing. And so it was really kind of sad that it was over for a little while.
Well, I know that you somewhat, I want to say, quote unquote, replaced it with a golf outing.
We did, and it was great.
And that was fun. Yeah. It really was, but it didn't replace it, per se. Because there's nothing that really can replace the Denims and Diamonds.
You know why, I think, also, is that the community loved the idea that it was in their backyard, number one. Number two, it was denim, and diamonds. You know how many men complain about wearing tuxedos and getting all dressed up?
Yeah, well, that would be 100% of the ones in Annapolis.
And diamonds. Like, how in the world can you not be excited about that? So it was really neat and fun to see all the different community come together and actually be wearing all their best diamonds and denims, and it was just it's a fabulous event. And of course, looping in Ken's Creative Kitchen, looping in a lot of the local food trucks, and it was just a really neat experience.
And the community really does buy into this. This is, yes, it's a fundraiser. The times that I've been, community talks about it. The community comes together. The community comes to support. And I don't care who you are. At some point, you're going to need something from Anne Arundel Medical Center and Luminis Health and Arundel Medical Center, whether it's a broken rib, a broken arm, tonsils, whatever it may be. Somebody is going to be here. And this is an organization that we do need to support. And certainly the foundation supports everything that the hospital does do for our community.
Absolutely. And it was our tagline when we first started. It was a party with a purpose. And that made total sense because it was a big party. Everyone had a great time. But there was a reason why we were there, whether it was the Klatenoff Pavilion and now obviously with mental health services, especially in the pediatric unit, it is really important. And to your point, there's not one person that was in that tent, whether it was 700 people or 1,100 people, that did not have someone that they knew that was going through something and that they really wanted the medical center.
Truly a brilliant idea to come up with it. And for those that are wondering, yes, it is in a tent, but don't think of like pup tents or something. I mean, it's a huge, giant tent, and it's outside, so you're protected from any kind of the elements and everything else. And it's just a wonderful event that's going to be on Saturday, April 26th.
Correct.
And tickets are on sale now for that, right?
Yes, they are, and they're going quickly. So I would definitely recommend that if anyone's interested in going, I would get your tickets sooner than later, because we've had several times where we couldn't sell as many as we wanted to, obviously, for the tent, but at the same time, you want to be able to have everyone participate. So I would definitely buy those tickets as soon as you can.
Absolutely. And we've got a link right here in the show notes for you to get right there to buy the tickets and learn more about the event. But I wanted to talk to Elizabeth Gross, who is the vice president for the Luminis Health and Arundel Medical Center Foundation, which is a mouthful.
It is, I know. You got it, though. You got it right. Yeah.
Please don't merge with anybody else, okay?
Yeah. We'll do our best. But,
to add to. But this benefit is all about pediatric mental health this year.
It is. And this is, as Claudia was saying, when we had the first event that benefited our women's and children's in the Frank Family Birth Center and Teddy's Place NICU, which are both housed in the Rebecca Klatenoff Pavilion. And then after that first year, we were, Anne Arundel Medical Center was building our mental health hospital, which is where we started raising funds for with this event after that, I guess I should say. And so that became the J. Kent McNew Family Medical Center. And for years, we supported that through this event, and then prior to COVID. And then now that we're bringing it back after COVID, one of the really big needs, I think they called mental health the second pandemic through the COVID-19, just because it impacted so many people. And we've seen this trend. Anne Arundel Medical Center's emergency department is the busiest in the state. It is the 40th busiest in the United States of America, actually. We have such a busy emergency department, and we're really grateful to have a dedicated pediatric inpatient and emergency department. The Gaetan and Joanne DeCiceres Family Foundation Pediatric Department and Inpatient, Emergency Department and Inpatient Unit. But so we see 20,000 children through that emergency department every year, and 10% of them are arriving at our ED in mental health crisis, which...
Wait, can I...
Yeah.
You said 20,000 and
10%.
That's 2,000.
2,000 children a year, yes.
That's
and
six
so,
a day.
Yep. And they come in all, as I'm sure you can imagine, all different stages of that, where some of them can come in and be stabilized and go home. But some of them end up staying with us for up to 6 weeks if they need specialized inpatient care at a tertiary center like Shepherd Pratt or another place like that. So they can be with us for weeks at a time. And these are children and their families, and maybe some of their darkest hours, right? And we want to be there for them, and we need kind of specialized resources for them.
And I think, as we know, mental health really takes many different faces, if you will. I mean, as you mentioned, there are some people that can come in here in absolute crisis, flailing, I just can't, whatever. And then there's others that I'm sure that come in and say that, I'm just having these thoughts. And I mean, there's different protocols for that. And I mean, the number that you threw out there just blows my mind, because I mean, we've got like 600,000 population in the county. And that's like, if my math is right, and there's no guarantee on that, but that's like 3% of the population.
It is. We serve many counties, so we do have a broader scope than just Anne Arundel County. But you're absolutely right that it is it's a growing number, and we are. One of the things that we want to make sure for these patients and their families is when they arrive that they have a safe, dedicated space that they can go to, because we want to make sure that the rooms are safe for them. First of all, if they're not say if they're, a danger to themselves or others. So we want to make sure that there are a lot of things that you need to do in a room like that just to make it comfortable, and also so that there's nothing that can put them at risk. But then also that we are able to have training for our staff so that they know how to work with these patients and de-escalate what's going on with them, so that then they can treat them appropriately without having to worry about about being hurt or harmed by the patient or what they might do to themselves.
That's something I never thought of to consider, that there's, depending on the level of crisis that somebody may be in, a danger to the staff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can remember when we first went to go tour the McNew Center, like literally all of us went in different groups. And they were pointing out the different things, John, that the rooms handled, stuff that you and I would never think in a million years, like the lights and how they were situated and the angles of the doors and just amazing things. So they wanted to do that stuff for the patients that were coming into McNew, so that way they could be safe and protected. And now our goal is to help them do this with the kids, with the children that are coming in that are often in crisis.
Wow. Okay, now when you have, let's fast forward a little bit here, and we've raised tons and tons of money and we're able to do that. Is that going to be here in Anne Arundel Medical Center?
Yes.
Or is it going to be...
So we want to, because oftentimes when a patient comes in crisis, they have maybe they have medical needs as well as their mental health. And anyone who's going to seek mental health treatment in a inpatient facility or anywhere must start in an emergency department. It's the way they admit patients to hospitals, but to inpatient environments. But oftentimes when a child arrives, we can stabilize them and they can go home to their family. If they have a supportive home environment, they could do that, and then we can just connect them to resources for outpatient in the community, which we have pediatric mental health specialists on staff at the McNew Medical Center. And then we also have a day program if they need that. So we have kind of that continuum, but we want to outfit rooms within the emergency department where they can be and be safe. We also need to make sure that we're raising funds to support the staffing for this, because they have a sitter who sits with them the entire time they're there to ensure that they're safe. And as you can imagine, that takes a lot of resources.
I was going to say, it's not just somebody that's, hey, come hang out here.
Right. And it's not something that we're able to bill insurance for. So the first day that they're here, we're able to bill insurance, but after that, it's something that it's uncompensated care.
I'm so glad that mental health is coming to the forefront, just in general, and certainly with pediatric patients. And, way back when, you had crazy Aunt Karen and you just ignore her. And that was pretty much, if it was severe, she just went away or something like that. We've got this thing inside of our skull that can break just like a bone. It can break just like your gallbladder. If I get a tummy ache, I know what I need to do. And unfortunately, a lot of parents and a lot of caregivers and a lot of family members, when something is misfiring, they just don't know what to do. And I think it's just amazing that the hospital is really coming to the forefront of this and recognizes the need, which the numbers don't lie, is
No, you're right.
astounding.
It's staggering also when you think about the children, right, that are going through things, especially with social media nowadays and all the different things that are going on that you and I were not aware of when we were younger, right?
I'm so thankful that I did not grow up in today's world.
Exactly.
Me too.
I envy the kids that make it through and that come out strong, because they've had a hell of a lot more challenges than I had, certainly growing up.
And to be able to talk about it, to be able to go out and reach out to somebody, whether it's their parents as well as obviously talking to people that they trust. And that's what the big thing is that the trust factor is what Anne Arundel Medical Center does best. And it really is a tribute to what they're doing for our community and for our kids for years to come.
And I think this community it's such a special place. We've had this event for so many years, and mental health has been in the center of the conversation, and I don't think anyone has shied away from that. And I really think the Annapolis and Anne Arundel County and surrounding counties, the community has really just kind of rallied around it, and that's why we're able to have the resource that we have in the McNew Medical Center. That's why we're hoping to do this for our pediatric patients, so that we can be there for them in this way too.
I will say that Anne Arundel County is a very giving community in general, and nothing really showed that more than when COVID hit. You had the restaurants that were preparing meals for people that couldn't. We really, we can be our own persnickety little selves, but when push comes to shove, we do, we can pull up our bootstraps and we get it done. We do support the hospital. We do support the causes that are good for us and the causes that are for the community. And this is certainly a great opportunity to do it as well. And I know plenty of people that have sponsored it. I'm always impressed when I look at the list of sponsors and I see that the staff at Luminis Health Anne Arundel Medical Center is behind on it as a major sponsor. So is that like the doctors that have come?
Yes, the Anne Arundel Medical Center medical staff is one of our major sponsors, and that's all the physicians that practice here. So not only those, there are some who are employed by Luminis Health Anne Arundel Medical Center, and then also some in the community who are members of our medical staff, and they.
And that's just not the mental people that are dealing in
no, it's
mental health.
All of them. Yep. It's really wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah, we also are really grateful to our presenting sponsor, who is the anesthesia company, and they are one of our. That's a good question. Yeah, exactly. But they are our one of our anesthesia providers, and so they are really close to us and have been practicing here at Anne Arundel Medical Center for so many years, and so we're really grateful to them, and they've really stepped up to be our presenting sponsor this year. Our platinum sponsors, the Davis Family Foundation, Ken's Creative Kitchen, and the Luminis Health Anne Arundel Medical Staff.
That's amazing. I mean, still we talked about the staff just stepping up there, but again, it's so great to have the different companies and different organizations and different foundations within the town, and probably the best darn caterer around town too.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. I mean, the community is so strong, and I do love that we have organizations and businesses that do step on for that. The need is there. And it'd be great if we could turn around and just wave a wand or something like that with Harry Potter, and make it all go away and make it better. And that's just not the case. So I do encourage everybody to attend Denims and Diamonds on the 26th. If you aren't able to attend Denims and Diamonds, there are ways to contribute to the cause as well. Think about the mental needs in the community. Think about your neighbor. Think about that number that 6 children a day are coming through the emergency room at Anne Arundel Medical Center in some sort of a mental health crisis. And contribute. I mean, the foundation is here. It is a nonprofit, and you shouldn't contribute because you can get a tax write-off, but contribute because that's the right thing to do for the community. Find a way to help, and hopefully we can get this scourge, sort of a tripe word, but under control, to be able to figure it out.
And I think one thing you just said is really important. We are a nonprofit hospital. People don't always realize that when we look, because we have this beautiful campus that the community has helped us to build, and we're a nonprofit. And so that means that we need the community's investment in order to be able to meet the needs. And we really are grateful for that. And we have, been receiving donations since we first began. Anne Arundel Medical Center actually was founded based on a gift of philanthropy of the first farmhouse that we delivered care in. So we're really grateful to the community and wouldn't be here without them, without you, without us, I guess.
Well, the website for tickets is AAMCdenimanddiamonds.org, and that's a big long one, but it's DENIMAND, diamonds.org. In keeping with your really long names and, and URLs as well.
Yeah.
But that's fairly self-explanatory. And I want to, thank you for the work that you're doing. Claudia, thank you for your vision to put this together. And everybody over the years that has said, we can really make a parking lot pretty cool. Because they really have. And when you walk into that tent,
it's a wow.
It's actually, probably 7 or 8 tents. You are truly walking into an oasis.
Absolutely.
You've got, music, you've got food, you've got dancing, you've got all sorts of opportunities to support the hospital, support the cause. And I do encourage everybody to come out. But I think we need to talk about the party.
Absolutely.
We get it almost every night, but when that moon is big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Everybody was there.
Well, it wouldn't be a proper fundraiser in Annapolis without the party, and we're fortunate enough here to have the 3 co-chairs. We've got Kristen Fleckenstein, Marnie Kagan, and Sarah Walsh. How are you guys?
Great.
Okay, you all seem to have your hair, so you haven't pulled your hair out yet planning this party. But I'm so excited to have this back after a 6-year hiatus, because this was always the party to look to every spring in Annapolis, and I'm so psyched that it's back, and I want to hear all about it. We all know that it's on April 26th. We do know that tickets are available at AAMCdenimanddiamonds.org. Tell me about it. I guess Kristen, do you want to lead off and tell me what?
We're just so excited about this event. It has been a long time since we've come together as a community, as this hospital, to raise money for really important causes. And, there is just a way that this community comes together to show support for people in need. And Marnie and Sarah and I have really worked hard with the foundation to find ways that we can really promote this event. And it's going to be a great event. And Marnie can tell you a lot about, just kind of how it's all going to happen.
Sure.
and tickets are available right now. I mean, we're recording this just, I think, a day or two after tickets went on sale.
They have just gone on sale. We're very excited, and they're going fast. We're thrilled to be doing this again, finally. And I think there's a lot of excitement in the community about it. I did want to point out that we are actually selling both VIP and general admission tickets this year, which is something new, that you can actually buy a VIP ticket, which allows you to come an hour early for a premium reception before the event starts.
Oh, fun.
That's at 5 p.m. And then the whole event, the bash, begins at 6. There may not be that many VIP or general admission tickets left, and the best way to ensure that you get them is to be a sponsor.
Okay.
We do have a few tickets left for additional sponsor firms that come on, or individuals.
Okay, so there are some sponsor spots available.
There are some available, correct. And
Again, same place we want to go, AAMC denim-and-diamonds.org?
That's correct.
Awesome.
AAMC denim-and-diamonds.org. And as I said, the event is from 6 to 11, VIP at 5 p.m., and it will take place at 1997 Annapolis Exchange, which is in the parking lot behind the Annapolis Exchange building. And you mentioned earlier that it's probably several tents. It's actually one huge tent. It's the largest tent and the only tent that will accommodate 1,200 people in the state of Maryland, from what I've been told. So anyway, I've never seen it been put up before, but I can't wait.
It's an incredible transition. You have no idea that you're in a parking lot, which is kind of hysterical when I think about it there.
The other thing that I wanted to mention before I forget, actually, is the theme of it is, as the title says, denim and diamonds. So you can wear anything you like. We were actually COVID forward in developing this event years ago. And, there was a lot of fatigue sometimes over black tie and fancy dress. And here you can throw on your jeans and, if you want, your cowboy boots, or you can wear sequins. So it's whatever you feel comfortable in. We want to make sure that everyone wears what they want.
Okay, going back a couple of years, it was hotter than you could possibly imagine. Shorts?
You can do that if you want. Absolutely. No prohibition.
I remember that year.
Claudia down at the end of the table is nodding her head going, I remember that night.
I remember that hurricane. That's right. Come dressed for the weather.
Look, this is just a great community event where we get out there. Again, tickets and sponsorships are still available. 5 to 6 is the VIP hour.
That's correct.
And do you give the up close parking for VIP too?
We do. We have special parking for VIP members.
Not a bad deal. That's what I always look for when I go VIP. It's like parking and porta potties. and more like
plenty
in
of
festivals.
those.
More like in festivals, as opposed to give me and I'm sold.
Yep.
Well, who's on the entertainment bill?
So this event is one that I knew about before I was ever even on the foundation board here at the medical center. And Marnie and I both serve on the foundation board. And this is the event in Annapolis. And this is an event where so many members of the community come together for people who need help from all walks of life. And I think that that's important to remember, that these are people from all walks of life. And we do it by coming together with an amazing party to celebrate what we're doing to raise money for this community. And this event is going to have amazing food catered by Ken's Creative Kitchen. There are going to be roaming oyster shuckers. I mean, we are in Annapolis. Roaming oyster shuckers are going to be there to make sure that people have the ability to try all different kinds of food. There's even going to be a donut wall from Blondie's Donuts, and I think that's probably one of the most exciting things.
What's a donut wall?
I don't know, but I can't wait to see it.
You have to come to find out, John.
Yes.
Wow.
But Timber Pizza is going to be there, Breaking the Borders Taco, burger trucks, ice cream trucks, just all sorts of different food for people to try, along with great beverages. Total Wine is serving as a sponsor for us this year. We are going to be able to provide cocktails, wine, beer. There's a Biergarten. There's a wine bar. There is just so much for people to truly have fun with, whether it is the Sip Social cocktail truck that's also going to be there, or the tap truck. There is just so much for people to have fun with. But not only is there phenomenal food and drink, there's also great raffle tables. And the raffle tables include things like the carat count, and that's to kind of guess how many fake diamonds are in a container. There's sip and spin, there are raffles, and the raffle is including one for a diamond tennis bracelet. And then there are just more raffles, more surprises in store. But we also have a photo booth, and that photo booth is a 360 photo booth, so people can have some real fun with that. A prop star photo booth. And I think one of the really exciting things this year is going to be what we're calling a masterpiece in the making. And that's with our own Annapolis artist, Kim Hovell. And Kim is going to be doing a live painting, and people from the community are going to be there to help. And that painting is ultimately going to be hung on the wall of the Pediatric Emergency Center here. And we are really excited about that.
Oh, that's wild. I love Kim's store on Main Street and just her stuff. I spent way too much at Christmas, this past Christmas there. So the community can actually sit there and contribute to the painting.
This painting that will be hung.
I don't know how she's going to do it, but it's going to be gorgeous, I'm sure, when she's done.
It will be spectacular, absolutely. So we have this amazing food. We have amazing things to do for people during the event, but we also have great music and dancing. The Bachelor Boys are going to be playing, so people will be able to dance, sip their cocktails, go find a roaming oyster shucker, and really be able to give back to the community in a fun way.
Kristen, I'm very impressed that you came out with oyster shucker and didn't screw that up.
I did the first time, I said. It's a dangerous thing to say.
although the roving oyster suckers could be a great rap band that's playing next year. I mean, you never know. It is just such a great time, and I mean, I know the amount of work that goes into this. That you guys are. Like wrangling cats, to get the vendors, to get the sponsors, to get the people that are putting the tents up, the ticket sales and everything else. And it's really truly a ballet to pull it all together. And the curtain goes up at 6 o'clock on the 26th, and the trains left the station, and we all have a good time. I wanted to talk to Sarah a little bit. It's so dependent on the community supporting it. We have tremendous community support on this, and we've mentioned the sponsors a couple different times. I mean, how many sponsors do we have out at this point?
John, we've been really impressed with the amount of sponsors that have come back and are excited about the event. So after our hiatus, we're so proud to say we have over 100 sponsors already, and plenty more sponsorships still available from now until the day of the event. So just reach out to the foundation, go to the website at AAMCdenimanddiamonds.org if you want to sign up for a sponsorship. And we'd love to have you because, as Marnie said, that's the easiest way to guarantee the tickets.
What's involved in a sponsorship? I mean, is it certainly if I wanted to come in and sponsor for $1.5 million, that's a different sponsorship for that.
John.
Just leave the checkbook at the door and we'll be okay. But what where do the sponsorship levels start?
Sponsorship levels start at $3,500 all the way up to your 1.5, John.
Okay.
And it gives you marketing opportunities along with the hospital, VIP accessibility for the tickets, as well as tickets to actually attend the event with you, your friends, your colleagues, whomever you'd like to.
And that's a wonderful investment in the community as well.
Yes. And with the higher sponsorships, you also have tables as well. So
this is not. You need to drop six figures, to
no,
get
anywhere $3,500 and up for sponsorships, and that gives you tickets to the event as well.
And again, it is the event of the year. This is the
you don't want to miss it.
This is the place to be seen and hopefully not heard, I guess. But
absolutely. And those sponsorships really are the key to the event. That's the foundation. So we've raised over $700,000 to date, and we hope that number continues to grow until the day of the event and the night of.
Do you have a goal?
I can't tell you that, John. Always have a goal.
Are you running for office? Sounds like a political answer there.
Absolutely not.
It's going to be so much better with your $1.5 million.
Thank you, John.
What did I get myself into? Of the three of you guys, you've not chaired this event before since it hasn't been around for 6 years. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm excited to have it back. right? So, John, you've said how much the community looks forward to it. And especially with the coming out of spring and everything getting out of the winter hibernation, it's just a great opportunity to see people and bring the community together and really kind of see the amount of people who can come together and make a real difference.
To piggyback onto what Sarah said, this is, as you said, the event, and it's been missing. And I can't think of another event, other than perhaps Fish for a Cure, that has really been one that draws the community together like this. And when I say community, I mean that it's not just a smaller nonprofit, and their events are very important, and I attend many of those events, and going to those events is wonderful. This event brings all of those people together as well, and all of the people who support the hospital. So the entire community is coming together for an amazing purpose, and that's what I can't wait to be around, because that vibe in and of itself is amazing, and it really is inspiring.
I agree with everything you two have said, but I would just add, I've always been an attendee at this event and had so much fun at it. So when the ladies at the foundation asked us to sponsor it, it wasn't a huge ask. It was something we were excited about. Sometimes when you're asked to participate in events, it's a lot of work. Sure. There's a lot of work here, but it's something that we all love and want to see succeed. And as we talked about before, it's not a question of if you're going to need this hospital, it's a question of when. We've all had family members or friends who have been here for emergencies or just for standard care, and we want it to be the best it can be.
And I'm impressed that none of you said, I'm looking forward to it being over, because I know it's an awful lot of work. But, you know, the one thing that really impresses me, and sort of to piggyback a little bit on what you said, Kristen, about the community and all the different things, is, I mean, you go into this, and this is not the hoity-toity, snooty, upper-class Annapolis ecosystem in here. This is the waterman, this is the lawyer, this is the doctor, this is the accountant, this is the woman that works in HR. I mean, this is the community coming in together to help with, you know, what Elizabeth laid out, that we've got
2,000 children a year
coming into Anne Arundel Medical Center's emergency room with a mental episode of some sort. At this point, there's really no greater calling, because you know, the children are our future. I mean, there you go, to quote another song, but they really are, and they're the ones that are going to have to be taking care of us as we get older, whether it's in the physical, mental, emotional, or just running the world. And we need to make sure that we're as healthy as we possibly can be, with internally, whether it's in your belly, in your legs, your arms, or in your head.
You know, I think everyone knows someone, if not in their own family, a friend's family, that has had someone that has had to deal with a mental health issue or a mental health crisis. And we all say, oh, there's so much pressure on kids, and there is. It's not like when we were growing up. Social media, school, sports, there are so many different factors that have added pressure to young people in this world. And this event allows us not to just sit around and talk about it. It allows us an opportunity to do something about it.
This has been a bonus podcast from Ion Annapolis. Please visit us at ionannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Ion Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.